Hello, and welcome to today's episode of English for Dummies. Let's start things off with a quick question. What's your favorite type of weather? Think about it for a moment. Now, with that in mind, I have to ask, do you ever give much thought to weather? I'm sure there are some that you like more than others. Say, do you watch the news? The weather forecast is a great way to inform yourself on what tomorrow will bring, be it cold, hot, or wet. But there's something that you might still be unsure about. How do reporters describe weather? What words do they use, and in what context? As you've probably guessed by these questions, today we're diving into the subject of weather forecast vocabulary. Don't worry, weather forecast is fairly simple. It will show you some of the most commonly used terms, what they mean, and what context they are used in. Now, let's go over them in order. First, we have a forecast. A forecast is just a prediction of future weather conditions. For example, the forecast predicts sunny skies tomorrow. Next up, we have temperature. And temperature is just a measure of how hot or cold a day is going to be. However, the actual scale that measures changes in temperature is called a degree. For example, today's temperature is 22 degrees Celsius. Next up, we have humidity. And humidity just refers to the amount of moisture in the air. For example, high humidity makes it feel warmer. Warmer is just another way of saying that the weather is just slightly hot. Then we have precipitation, and precipitation actually refers to any form of water that falls from the sky. It can be just plain up water, which is what we know as rain. It can be snow or different forms of snow. For example, we have sleet and hail. Sleet only occurs when it is really cold outside, and it is water that freezes just before touching the ground, so it barely gets to be solid before crashing with the ground. Hail, however, does not have to happen in cold weather specifically, as it can happen in warmer weathers as well, and it is when water freezes in the sky and falls to the ground as a solid little ball. For example, there's a 60% chance of precipitation this afternoon. Then we have overcast. And overcast refers to when the sky is completely covered by clouds. For example, it's overcast today, so we might not see the sun. Now we have drizzle. A drizzle is a very light rain with very fine droplets. For example, a light drizzle is expected in the evening. Next up we have a breeze. And a breeze is a gentle and light wind. For example, a cool breeze is blowing from north. Lastly, we have a gale. A gale is a very, very strong wind. For example, gale force winds are expected along the coast. Now that you have seen what these words mean and what they are used for, let's practice using them. So here's what we're going to do. I'll describe a weather scenario, and you will pause the video to take as much time as you need to guess the correct term. Then, once you are ready, you can unpause the video to hear the correct answer. Are you ready? Here we go. First, a light rain is falling with very fine droplets. Is it A, a thunderstorm, B, a drizzle, or C, a gale? Correct, it's letter B, drizzle. Second, the weather report predicts a very strong wind. Is it A, a breeze, B, an overcast, or C, a gale? Correct, it's letter C, a gale. Now third and last, the sky is completely covered with clouds. Is it A, sunny, B, an overcast, or C, clear? Correct, it's letter B, overcast. See? Easy enough, right? If you got confused in any of these questions, don't worry. Just remember to go back and rewatch the segment where the terms are explained if you need to. And if you feel like you need more practice and are ready for more, I will link a website in the description that contains a fairly easy exercise, very similar to the one you just completed, and if you wish to do it now, you can feel free to pause the video and come back once you're done to keep going with the lesson. Now that you have reinforced what you just learned about weather forecast vocabulary, I want you to put it to use. Here's what I want you to do. Whether you're using a phone or a computer, I want you to investigate what the weather will be like for tomorrow. I need you to take a good look at the forecast and then reflect on the things you have learned so far. Once everything is clear and you know what the forecast for tomorrow is, I want you to describe the weather using at least 3 of the new words you have learned so far into the lesson. Try to make a sentence and then pronounce it. I will give you a moment to pause the video to formulate your descriptions, and remember, if you have trouble thinking of a way to describe the weather, you can always go back and watch the segment where I explain the list of terms, and remember to take all the time you need to make sense of it. Now, before we leave, let's make sure you still remember what you saw. Same thing from before. I will describe weather conditions and you will have to guess the correct term to describe them. Again, pause at every sentence to think of your answer before hearing the correct one, just to make sure you have learned. First, the air feels very moist and sticky. What is it? I will give you time to think. That's right. The correct answer is humidity. Second, a prediction of future weather conditions. What do you think the answer is? I'll give you time to think. That's correct. It's a weather forecast. Third and last, a gentle and light wind. What do you think the response is? I'll let you think. That's correct. It's called a breeze. Well, that will be it for today. I hope you guys learned something today, as pretty fast this lesson was. And as always, this is English for Dummies. Thank you for watching, hit that bell and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Until next time.